Hello viewers, my name is Ashok Sen Gupta. I am from School of Management Sciences, Lucknow. Today, we will discuss the topic of Unit 4 in your subject Project Management, which is a part of program of MBA. The topic is steps in project scheduling and network design. In earlier topics, we were discussed about the various concept of project in which we understand and we get to know about how project is project management is process, what are different aspects, what is costing, what is budgeting, what is social cost benefit analysis. Now, in this unit we will discuss about the scheduling and network designing. So, first step of project management, the planning schedule management is to identify the policies and procedures and documents which will govern the production of project schedule. So, the first step is their planning schedule management. Okay. So, in first step we first find out the various policies, procedures and documentations which will be govern the production of project schedule. In this we find out that the following points which are contingencies. So, contingencies is how big will they be and how will they be calculated. Contingencies are the issues or contingencies are the things which we understand that during the project this kind of happenings will be there. So, we need to calculate how big are they and how we will calculate. Second, about the resources, from where we get the available resources on the time. It is very important in any project to get the resources, either human resource or material at proper time. So, we can process the work properly. So, we can process the proper work or start the work at proper time. Third is task dependency. There are various tasks which are interdependent with each other and some are independent to each other. So, we need to understand which task is are depend on each other and how we move them parallelly, how we create them parallelly, how we start them parallelly. So, we must be able to complete the task at proper time. So, there are any major task dependencies, the project depends on such completing the foundation before the framing can start. So, there is some initial point in any project and that in initial point at starting point we have to complete that starting point, after that we can start the other projects. For example, to construct a pillar for a bridge, first we have to dig it down, we have to dig down the area and then fill that with proper foundation. In construction, in civil engineering, it is a foundation work is very important. Without foundation, no pillar can be get support. So, and foundation must be its best quality, because the weight of total bridge, the dependency of total bridge is on that foundation. Then organizational procedures. There may be a certain software that may use to use or standard procedure for updating the schedule. Stakeholder who must approve the schedule or to whom must be distributed. So, these are the things in first step we have to maintain, we have to understand organizational procedure. Here how we organize the things in management, it is important that how we organize the things. So, organization procedure is what? To organize the things in proper way to get the work done. Okay. So, this is the first step. Second step is define the activities. Second procedure is define the activities, and the activities are according to the planning, according to the planning, according to the planning. So, if we start the first thing, then we need to understand that it must be a first thing, we cannot do it from middle. So, we define the activities, give them some code. So, here I give an example of civil construction work, that here we see task ID name, task ID and name. So, we give ID is given according anything according to the project manager, according to decision of the management, you can give any kind of ID, and this is the defined activities. So, first we do the escalation, then pour the foundation, wooden work is next step, electrical purling, flooring, finishing and landscaping. Landscaping is the last, and excavation is first activity, and these activities started from this and moving down to this. So, second step is defining activities. There are some thumb rules which we need to understand while doing the activity or while defining the activities. First is make sure it is can be reliably estimated, make sure it can be reliably estimated. The task should be broken down into points where reliable estimate can be produced. If we are still unsure that the cost and duration of that task, consider breaking it down further. If reliable estimation means proper costing, like if A is a task and we can make it further break down in a small task to get the more reliable estimation A1, A2, A3 and A4. Further we can if it is necessary, then we can further break down these subtasks into further to get the proper estimation. So, first make sure the reliable estimate. Second, base is on deliverables. Each deliverables should have clear defined task and set of tasks is placed to produce it. Third, have only one responsible party. Each task having some responsible person, each task having some responsible person. For example, take here electricity and plumbing work, How? So, we can do both things parallelly and two independent tasks are grouped together. So, person of looking after the electricity work take care of the electricity work and responsible for any kind of delay, any kind of late, any kind of misuse of the time, and plumbering person who do the plumbering work is responsible for its own work. So, these two are independent, these two are independent job, independent task and can run parallelly, but both tasks have some responsible parties. The person who take the contract of electricity work is responsible for proper setting of electricity as discussed with the parties, as discussed with the manager, as per the map, as per the design. Similarly, plumbing person is responsible for his own work. Next, match task to cost account, because initially we budget, initially in initial lecture I discussed that we have to prepare a budget. In budget we classify the different tasks according to the market cost and prepare our budget. Now, at the time of implementation, each task to be matched with our budget. Make your organization has predefined cost account such as woodwork, flooring work. Cost account here we understand we must have the notice of, we must have a knowledge of what will be the cost incurred if we do the woodwork. It is according to our budget or it is going to be increase our budget. If it is going to increase our budget, what is the reason and how we can maintain that, how we can maintain that. Next is make it measurable. Whatever the task is, it can be measurable. Measurable in point of time, in point of cost incurred. So, these are the thumb rule while doing the task activities. Step number 3, sequence activity. A sequence activity is the flow chart where we design the network according to it and we move according to that network. So, task dependency, there are in fact 4 type of dependencies. Finish to start, it is most common dependency. When A and B have FS relationship, task B cannot start until task A finish, that is finish to start. Task A and task B. Until and unless A completed, for take example, A started at day 1 and completed at day 10. On 10th day or 11th day, after completion of the A, the B will start from 10th day. After when is finished, it will start. So, so B is totally depend on the task A. Here the example is in practical, if we are going to establish a pillar and this is thus the foundation, this is the foundation, until and unless the project manager, the engineers certified that the foundation is now ready for pillar, then there is a pillar. So, it is a task, this is task A and this is task B. Until unless A completed, we cannot start B. Next is finish to finish. When A and B have a F and F relationship, A, B cannot finish until and unless A will finished. Understood? A cannot finish, sorry, B cannot finish until A finished. So, both have to finish parallelly, both have to finish parallelly. Like A started at finish at A1 or at 5th day or 5 hours anything, B have to be finished parallelly with A, we have to be finished parallelly. So, this is about F and F. Third dependency is A and B SS relationship. B cannot start until and unless A is started. B cannot start until unless A is started. So, both things started parallelly, both things started parallelly to reduce the time. As per the example, let us take again there are two, this is a bridge and these are the pillars. Pillar started at let A from here, both pillar started from here. Okay. So, this is task A. Parallelly in somewhere now the joint this is preparing. So, it is started at day 1 of October. It also task B started at first day of October. So, when it completed, it will also complete and possibly we able to reduce the time of the project. So, we parallelly because without pillar we cannot put the slab. So, slab is started parallelly with the pillar and both started at same time. May be possible they end at different time period, but it will reduce little bit of project timing. Next is start to finish, when A and B have an SF start to finish relationship, B cannot finish until A start. B cannot finish until A start. There are some examples in food processing also, in a projects where two different tasks are work on this basis. B cannot start, B cannot finished, we cannot finish until A start. So, at the time of mixing of the ready mix concreting, it is quite necessary to do this kind of thing, because if we pouring the ready mix concrete, it is a finished, and starting the slab work, it is start. So, both are related to each other. Next is lag and leads and lags. The amount at the time where an successor activity can be advanced with respect of predecessor activity, or for example, if task A and B have an FS relationship with a lead day 5, B cannot start until 5 days after A finished. B cannot start until 5 days of A finish. So, this is an example of lead, where successor and predecessor are dependent on lead and lag. On the other hand, amount of time whereby a successor activity delayed with respect of predecessor. For example, if A and B have a FNS relationship, finish and start relationship with 5 days, B cannot start until 5 days before, A has finished. So, this is about the lead and lag. First is after task A has finished and before A has finished. Fourth step is major resources. So, there are 4 major resources in any kind of activity. First is labor, second is tool and equipment, third is facilities, and fourth is fixed cost items and some contract etc. Labor, machinery, facilities and fixed cost item are the major estimated activity resources in the project scheduling. Fifth is estimate activity duration. Just as a resource is necessary does not mean it is available. To determine the ability of resources, the project manager concerned with document called resource calendar. This is a document state that availability of resources. So, resources are such an important thing, without that any project can be delayed. So, take example when during a construction there is a delayed in cement. Company having started its project with 10,000 bag, 1,000 bag of cement, but next lot is delayed. So, availability of resources proper time is important, because we have to give prior information to the company, to the vendor company, we require 1000 bag more on before that day, and you have to give that information according to the resource calendar. Estimate is professional itself, but there is a three method of the activity duration. First, analogous estimates, second, parametric estimate, third is 3-point estimate. So, analogous estimate, it is a method of consulting actual data with previous one. Parametric is a method by breaking down the project into fundamental units known as and well known and understood units. Like square foot for a footage of house, itna square foot, this is square foot area we need to calculate, finish the project on this square foot. And third is when you have no real good data to go from you estimated, then you need to having the possible outcomes, and the possible outcomes are the three ways: optimistic, most likely and pessimistic. If you are optimistic, then you are very optimistic that your project will finish at that day, 10th day. You are most likely like 13 days, and pessimistic, you are toward negative toward 17 days. So, normally distribution estimated optimistic plus most likely and divided by pessimistic divided by 3. So, there are the triangular distribution average, like normal distribution and beta distribution. So, my dear friends, this is all about the project scheduling, and in this project scheduling I covered the 5 steps of projects scheduling network, and the 5 steps are: plan schedule, defined activities, sequence activities, estimated activity resources, estimated activity duration. And this duration is very important, because we do not have actual knowledge of what time it will take. So, we are taking 3 things: we are most optimistic, most likely and pessimistic decision making, and find out the time duration. Thank you for watching this video.